Championship from here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. I'm Jason Bowman. I'm joined by Jeremy Jones. We have another spectacular match on tap for you guys this afternoon between a three-time U.S. Amateur Champion in Henry Brodt, King Henry, and Carlos Gomes, local guy right here in the Tampa area. I think they're about ready to go. Again, we've got Carlos Gomes, Henry Brodt, Carlos from here in Tampa, Henry now from Laguna Beach. Looking at a race to 7, combination 8-ball and 9-ball, 5 games of 8-ball, 8 games of 9-ball. This is a double elimination tournament, and the winner of the lag chooses the break or the format. It's my understanding that Carlos won the lag and has opted to start in the 8-ball set, which means Henry Brodt is at the table and ready to break.
Yeah, Henry's going to be a tough customer. Of course, a lot of experience. 3-time champion, right?
3-time champion. Won back-to-back titles in the late 90s and then again 4 or 5 years ago. I have to go back and look, but quite a gap in between. But
yeah, it's impressive, though.
It is impressive. So. It is very impressive. Henry was originally from the Illinois area, Chicago area, and then ended up moving out to California, Laguna Beach. Henry's in Laguna Beach.
Don't blame him.
So
just like everyone here in Florida. Tell you what, I've been around Florida here now, since Sunday, and I always get reminded how dangerous it is to be a pool player in Florida, just because you never know who you're going to run across. It's kind of one of those states people come down, they hang out, one reason or another, and I've seen so many good players at the pool rooms that I just didn't expect.
Yeah.
So if you're on the road playing a little pool for a friendly few dollars, just be aware of what's going on in Florida.
Not just the birds that fly south for the
That's
winter.
right.
The pool players track south, too.
Yeah, I saw Lee Huwagon in the pool room, who now kind of resides in Florida, a great player from Minnesota. Played a lot of pro events at one time. And then just a lot of guys, period.
You're just catching us on your feed or on the YouTube channel. You're watching coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship happening here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. Palm Harbor just across the bay from the downtown Tampa area. Just got underway this morning. We are now in our 4th round of the day.
Now, Henry's trying to really plan out a touchy out, a doable out with the stripes, but very touchy. So, okay, it's still open. So he's going to go ahead and take the solids. I thought the stripes were a little easier. Excuse me, Carlos did make a stripe, so not open. He was forced to take the solids. He's trying to play this angle on the 6, I think, to kind of rearrange the balls a little bit. Goes up into the 3 area with the cue ball. Should get by the 8 with a little speed. And just that happens a lot when you're really thinking about the cue ball.
Henry last won a U.S. Am title in 2015.
Wow, so not long ago, really.
Prior to that, it was 98 and 99.
Wow, pretty impressive.
Yeah, 16 years off. Of course, he was here several of those years.
Yeah,
had top finishes, but he kind of fell out of the circuit for a while and then came back.
Well, I always thought one of the most impressive things in pool was Jimmy Karras, which is a Hall of Famer, and played in the Moscone era and whatnot, but won many world titles, U.S. Open titles, and then took like 15 or 20 years off before he came back and won again with another era of great players and whatnot. And same thing here with Henry to win with 15, 16, 17 years separated.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive.
So here at the table, Carlos Gomes has one other appearance here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. That came in 2018 when he finished 33rd. So little experience, and as I mentioned, local guy, plays here at Strokers quite a bit, so has a good feel for the tables.
And it does mean something. people pulling for you, right?
Oh, yeah.
The locals. Definitely you get a little momentum going. That really applies.
He wanted to make sure we gave a shout-out to his son, Andrew, who's hopefully tuning in, and as well as his friends and family.
Should bring the cue ball behind the 1 and 11 here. Okay, decent. I don't know if the 15 passes the 1. That makes a huge difference on what Henry may do. Don't think he can see the 2, but he can see the 4, maybe the 6. So probably plays a mild safety of some sort here. I don't know if he goes offensive. He could try to pocket the 4, but I think the safety is really the shot. Okay, he went for the 6. And again, trying to hold the cue ball up a little bit. Did give up the 11, though. Now, Carlos, he's got options. If the 15's any kind of tight, he doesn't have to worry about that. He can shoot the 11 and go 1 rail into the 1 with the cue ball. Probably has the 9 or the 15 in the upper corner by the 6. So I think he was trying to open the ball up there. Just bump the 2 a little bit with the cue ball, trying to open the 15. Now Henry's got a 1 ball he's got to deal with, along with clearing some other balls, but the 1 looks like it may not have a pocket. That's what he's looking at now. Now he may shoot it now. Only reason being it's in a position to where if it does have a half a pocket, it's a nice light speed on the cut shot. And he may cover the pocket up if he misses. I kind of like this option a little better. I think he can clear these. It's going to take a little work, but
This is the first match for both these players. So, again, just kind of trying to get in the stroke.
yeah, get their feet wet a little bit. And especially the 8 ball, you'll see if a longer first game a lot of times, to be honest with you, if the balls get challenging, players wanting to get on the board, of course, trying to settle in. I don't know if he got a pocketable ball here. If he can get at the 11, that would be nice, but I don't know if the 15 goes. If he can get at the 11, really, where does he go for position on the 15? So, tough situation. If the 15 goes, I think this is correct. Take that, try and work the cue ball for the 11. Now Henry doesn't have to worry about the 1 anymore. That has an open pocket. So I'm guessing maybe leave the 1 for last. Even though it is a little bit of a problem, it's not too tough to get position on. So I think kind of like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get on the 1, 6, 5 to get on the 1. Okay, he's going to play the 3 or the 4 next. Again, it looks like the 1 ball is the last ball that easily gets on the 8. It's not too hard to get position on it. It's not something I would worry about too much. So it looks like probably the 4 after the 6, then the 5 gets on the 1 pretty easily. You could do it the other way if you want. Oh, he's going to go to the 1 now. If he gets a little thin here, this could be a little more problematic getting on the next ball. We'll see. I think he can hit a high ball and run the cue ball. Oh, he's overcut it.
Going to bring Carlos back to the table here. One of these players looking to get on top first in this race to 7. We'll see 5 games of 8 ball.
Going to need to slow down a little bit. Looks like pretty good speed. Draw stroke most likely here. You could follow by the 8. It's kind of preference. Looks like he's going to follow the ball. Nice shot. Wanted to get off the rail a little more, but I mean, 8 ball, you got to realize, you know, he put himself on the rail here, but you're going to have to shoot a lot of shots from places you don't like so much playing 8 ball. It's just how it is. Nice confident stroke there.
All right, Carlos will take the first game in a 1-0 lead. And while we prepare for the next rack, let's hear a word from our friends at pooldog.com. We are back here at Strokers in Palm Harbor. Henry Brodt working on a rack here for Carlos Gomez.
I'd be interested to see, you know, how Carlos breaks the balls, if he goes second ball or head ball. Seems to me head ball, this table's breaking nice. Second ball you break feeling like you're going to make a ball a little more often. And if you don't, there's a little security in the second break, meaning, you know, the balls tend to lay a little tougher. So if you don't make a ball on the break, you feel like there's a little security there, as maybe your opponent won't run out. Now from this position, got to believe he's hitting the head ball. Oh, he's lost the cue ball. So Henry will have ball in hand behind the line, and his choice. Pretty decent spread. You can see a pretty heavy cluster on the lower right part of your screen, the lower right part of the table. Now, if he felt confident of shooting the 9 onto the 7, that would be a great shot to really kind of open the solids up. Looks to me the solids are a little bit better. He's got to really cut this if he's going to play that 9-7. Oh, he's playing the 5. So the only other opportunity with the 7 I see is the 6-9-7 combo, triple combo. Want to get to that early because the 6 is going to reposition somewhere and you just never know where it's going to end up. So long shot on the 1. Oh, nice stroke there.
Henry wanted to give a shout out to Joyce, Jennifer, and Julie. Matilda, Olivia, Connor, Darren. lots of folks back either in Laguna Beach or back in Illinois. Of course, Henry's been playing a long time. He's got made a lot of friends along the way, I have no doubt, based on his personality. Very nice guy. He's seen this event change quite a bit, you know. Again, started playing it back in the 90s.
Yeah, right.
And this thing has grown significantly over the last quarter century. Not just in terms of the amount of players that try to qualify, but just the overall talent level.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which is, again, we mentioned, winning in 2015 after so many years, with the talent level having risen as it had. Pretty impressive feat for the 3-time U.S. Amateur champ.
Yeah, he made one heck of a shot getting the 6 down there, but that 10 ball came over and covered up the 3. So now he's in a a spot, and a tough spot too, because doesn't really have many balls left to really get at opening that 3. So we'll see what he wants to play here. Look at this little short side position. Now that was one fantastic shot. He's still going to have to deal with the 8. But if he can knock the 3 in and he can go up for the 4, which looks like pretty natural, he can use the 2 to get on the short side of the 8, I think. So it should be the 3 and then the 4 next. Oh, nice shot there.
Somebody was asking which pro tournament does the winner enter after this? Typically the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
But I think we give the preference to the player, you know,
Yeah.
like if they want to go to the International Open or, you know, some of the other open events.
Well,
We try to accommodate them as best as possible. So.
And they're all great. I mean, they really, Pat Fleming always does an excellent job at the International. And, of course, Matchroom taking over the U.S. Open, it's just going to grow and grow
Tough
and grow.
to miss that one,
yeah.
right? That'd be a tough one to miss if it were me picking.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, it's, again, it's a little, how should I say this, in a kind of a young state, again, the U.S. Open. I think they're going to do a lot of things to make it grow even more and more and more, money-wise, venue-wise.
Doing it in Atlantic City this year?
Yeah, it's an AC, yeah.
Nice. When is that this year? September?
September, yeah.
Okay.
So, again, it looks like probably a great series of tournaments in the fall. Last year we had 2.5, 3 months of something I ain't seen in decades.
Yeah.
You know.
Good things happening in the pool world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we got a great class of players as well. Much more of what I see as, you know, athletes, which is always very good and very attractive, but also guys that are just competing. You know, it's not a personal kind of thing so much like you get the feeling of years ago.
Yeah.
The guys realizing, yeah, we got to beat each other's brains in. That's our job, but we are colleagues. Nice stroke there from Carlos. Now, myself,
there here in a sec. Carlos Gomez does lead 1-0.
That's right. Myself, I'd love to play the 9 off the 2. I think he has to open up that pocket for the 14, I think? So I like a little draw stroke here to get behind the 9 for the same pocket. And then you play the 9 off the 2, that opens up the 10. Now, you'd like to be a little straighter, but it's a pretty big hit on the 2, meaning he can hit half the ball, a third of the ball, quarter of the ball. Lots of ways to hit the 2 and still be okay. And what I'm saying is rub the 2 with the 9 going into the pocket. And I really think he's got to do that, to be honest with you. He tried. He hit right in between them. Now, the good thing for him, he missed the pocket, but the 9 settled. So, Henry in a bad spot here, and he knows it. I think to prolong the game, I think I try to just roll on the 2 and kind of keep the 9 still tied up if I can anyways. Because it's just like any other sport, you know, football, when you're behind, you try to prolong the game, right? Lengthen the game. And the same thing in pool. When you're really up against the worst of it, you want to try and lengthen it. Maybe you can
wear them down a little bit.
Influence a mistake, you know, something you didn't expect, right? So not many onside kicks are recovered, but it does happen. So, and that was okay. He was trying to just leave him tough on the 10 or the 15, and just a tough situation.
If you're just now tuning in, you're seeing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship, the 2022 edition, here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. This event, of course, produced by the American Pool Players Association.
Oh, nice shot there, and really good stroke. When the stroke's good, you don't have to hit the pocket perfect. All right, he's got to put a little draw on this. He caught the 8. Still a very doable bank shot. And Henry's pretty smart, so a lot of players would say, man, let me play safe, put the cue ball way up there where he can't make the 2. But crafty player like Henry, I think I go for this bank right here. Yeah, he's doing what I was talking about. But, like I said, Henry's not, whether he makes one, makes the 2-ball cutting it in, he's going to make it tough on Carlos some kind of way, most likely anyways. So that's where you can evaluate your opponent a little bit. Can't quite tell how thin this is from this camera angle, but I know it's pretty thin. There, that's perfect there. You can see tough shot. He should go for it, though. But this is another thing, right? When you pass up on that first shot, you never know if you're going to get a better one. Now, the good thing for Carlos is this kiss shot. Remember the kiss we talked about yesterday off the ball, right? I think with a little draw stroke right here, the 8 may be kind of wired off the 2 in that lower left-hand corner.
Okay.
Don't know if I saw him really call it. All right, he's going to run the cue ball, or maybe just real light. He's trying to get the 2 up, though. Super thin cut. We'll see if he wants to take on the bank shot. You recall who Henry beat in 15? I know it's hard to recall those like if it wasn't last year, but
let's see here. Let me do a little digging.
He hit that pretty well, and he knew it was, feast or famine there on that bank shot. But so Carlos should get this second game, and really, after picking 8-ball, he's got to like how this has started. Gets a 3-time champion.
Okay, who he beat? 2015. David Rao, another former champ. That was a bit of a legends match right there between those two former champs. Yeah, David's here now again. He's a pretty regular, but that's who Henry knocked off in 15.
Well, David, I've known him a long time, and it just seems like he always improves. Timeless kind of guy.
2-0 lead now for Carlos Gomes in this race to 7. We're about to see our 3rd game of the 5-game 8-ball set. Nice start for Carlos here in his homeroom.
Yeah, and I'd commented a second ago, he picked 8-ball, and he's got to love the way this has started. So at the moment, he can call himself a genius for a minute anyways. We'll see how the rest of the 8-ball plays out. So what I see is maybe a Carlos that obviously doesn't have the experience of Henry, but he's maybe a little more informed physically. Henry probably doesn't play as much as he used to, and when we get up there a little bit in years, it's just how it is in sports. The physical side tapers off, even though the mental side gets a little stronger.
Well, even in pool, you're thinking about the stretching over the table.
Eyes,
the
nerves.
ability to get up higher.
Yeah. See that with Efren a lot these days. When he has to elevate the cue, you can see him kind of roll the shoulder. Really a lot of pain for him. So
I'll still take him on my team now.
Oh, absolutely.
Work him into an APA match one of these times.
Tell him just to give you a little of that brain.
Yeah.
That mind of his is one of a kind. Very unique style, period, and everything kind of adds up in my mind. But what he has in that brain is just something special. I think that's really where he's the GOAT in my mind, anyways.
He's one of the few in the pool world I've never met.
Oh,
never
really?
met
Wow.
Efren, no.
Well, go to the Philippines to meet him, because then you'll see a treat.
I'm sure we've been under the same roof, at some events or something, but I've never really had the pleasure of actually sitting down and getting to know him at all. I don't think we've ever even had so much of the conversation.
Well, Efren's he may be this is a nice class shot here getting on the 11. He may be a bit of an introvert as well. Now, he speaks good English, even though people don't realize it, but he doesn't always want to have to
talk a lot.
Exactly,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and he's a guy that really is very rarely not thinking in my mind. I've been around him so much and I've played him so much that I kind of feel what's going on, and I kind of feel like he's always processing something.
Living legend.
Yeah, and he's always said it, that I've learned as much from the amateur players than I have from the pros by just watching, Because you never know. You see different things from the amateurs and so you can learn how balls react, and, you never know what you might learn, to be honest with you. So he's always made that claim. All right, tough shot here. Oh, nice stroke. Oh, I thought
get a little lucky.
He's going to get a little fortunate.
There it is.
Don't know about a pocket for the 8 just yet, but.
See if you can get lucky twice in a row, maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what the percentage play is here, and I don't think the 2 really kind of crazily goes off the 8 goes off the 2 in any kind of way. That would be an extreme cut anyways. I think that's what he's looking at a little bit, but now looking to see if the cross corner bank goes, and that's a possibility. That's as much of a possibility, that I see anything. Now he's got to go right by the 2. If he goes a little too low, the 2, he'll catch the 6. Oh, he hit it sweet. Super sweet.
Wow. Beautiful shot there by Carlos Gomez to finish off that rack and take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and
I'm impressed.
Our first break and run of the match as well. So
Carlos is feeling it at the moment.
Yeah, and you can start to see what the guys, they get a few more shots under their belt, right? The first game, they each got at the table a couple times in a tough rack, tough layout, but get a few open shots, get that arm moving.
Window is now open if you want to enter next year's U.S. Amateur Championship. You can sign up on our website to compete in a preliminary round. Top players from those preliminary rounds advance to the championship rounds.
Well, that's always a nice feeling when, that's how it's going to be in 8-ball too. Sometimes you paint yourself into a corner, just the way the game's designed, and it's nice to be able to come with a shot, especially a big one to keep the momentum going.
Pretty shot.
Yeah. All right, square hit there. And it looks like a dry break. Now Henry will certainly consider the 11-1 in the corner. That really takes care of a problem. And that last camera view we had will really show you how lined up the 1 is. Now he's looking at this 4-ball, and he's shooting it pretty quickly. I thought the 11-1 really took care of a lot of problems, and the 5. Oh, he's going to break it out now. So nice shot. I know he recognized it, but now he's kind of falling a little funny. He's got a 3-ball that's fine, but now here you have to worry about the 6-ball. You still got a lot of worries. Now what I would look at is there enough room to shoot the 6 by the 12 into the rail and be able to pocket the 5 on the next shot? That would be solving a lot of problems, and something that Henry will certainly recognize. Now, he doesn't want to make this off the 5.
Oh, came back out.
Yeah. Not the worst thing in the world, because you can see a very lonely 12-ball down there by those 3 solids. So going to be tough for Carlos to clear this table. Not just because of that, because he's got a tough first shot, period. And he's immediately looking at that 12 ball. He knows it's a big problem. Carlos getting pretty comfortable, it looks like anyways. That was a nice confident stroke. I mean, if I'm going to get out, try to get out here. I don't really see how to get at the 12 just yet, but if I am, I guess you got to shoot the 11 right now, just because that's a problem ball, and you're kind of in position to do so. And I think the 10 kind of helps you, do some other things, but he's trying to spin behind the 11. Pretty nice control. Now, the one thing Carlos has done that's smart is he's left the 13 and 9, kind of there for a minute. That's the balls that easily, or the easier way to get at the 12. So we'll see what he does here. Going to have to take a chance here in a moment, though, if he expects to try and clear the entire table. A little unlucky there. Like I said, he had to try and create something. If I can get at the 10, I'd do something with the 10 ball. Nothing crazy, I don't think, but or is that the 14 that's just near the 7? That's the 14, I think. Excuse me.
That'll bring Henry Brodt back to the table here.
And he's got a nice open table. Appears the 3 goes. I think Carlos tried to tie that 3 ball up knowing he's in a bad spot, but I like to clear those 3 balls that he's near now, that being the 4, 3, and 6. Well, this is going to leave a little bit of a tester. Don't think the 3's a problem. He'll probably shoot the 1 now, but I think he was trying to get on the 3 right then. 8 ball, you usually want to take care of one part of the table and then be done with it, and then you just concentrate on the other part. That way it really eliminates cue ball movement up and down the table with so much traffic in the way, right? So he's going to have to make a good shot here. Oh, nice stroke. Okay, trying to hold for the 2 ball. Unexpected miss there. Didn't leave the easiest of shots, but if Carlos can kind of get this 14 in the side, he should be able to come out for somewhere on the 12 or the 9.
We'll see one more game of 8 ball at the conclusion of this rack.
And this is a little thin into the side or the corner, but really the only shot he has. Nice shot. Is he going to get any love from it? Wow, that ball hung up, huh? He got a little love from the cue ball, meaning the cue ball, I think the 8 got in the way of the 3. It got in the way of the 2. And he's elevated over the 8 shooting the 7.
Mm-hmm.
So that, outcome of that shot, I thought he made it, to be honest with you. I thought he hit it really well. But he's put a ton of pressure on Henry on a tough shot on the 7 because there is no safety here with that 14 hanging. Yeah, and that was just a tough shot with the bridge over the 8 as well. So no reason to wait, I don't think, for Carlos. Might as well shoot the 12, I think anyways. I mean, you could shoot the 14, then the 12, but I like leaving that 14 hanging myself. Shoot the 12 to get on the 9 now. You can easily get from the 14 to the 8. And this is okay. What he's wanting to do here is just not get so thin on the he's ended up thin anyways. You could see a little shake of the head. So now he's got to come off the 3, and that's not a problem. The 2 ball's the worry. See the 2 ball here? Did he get there or not?
Didn't look like it by his reaction.
Yeah, I think he snookered, and that's kind of why I shoot that ball first. You know what I mean? Because now you have the 14 hanging up in that upper right-hand corner that he peeled off first. And so when you had to take a little chance there with the cue ball, you'd like to have a ball that's going to always be shootable, right? So maybe he's got a little piece of this. Maybe he's just taking on the kick shot.
Good opportunity now for Henry. Still looking to put up his first point in this match.
And he's a little stretched on the 3. Not a problem, really, but it'd be the ball you want to shoot. Got to watch on getting straight in, though. Okay, you got plenty of angle. Looks like a Southwest cue maybe he's playing with.
That is what he plays with.
Yeah, with an OB shaft.
Good
OB
call.
shaft, yeah.
That I don't know. He just said he plays with a Southwest cue, so
yeah.
Good eye.
It's been the overcut a little bit a few times here. And what happens there, right, when you're not playing as much, I wouldn't say the right word is you fear the cut, but you kind of fear chunking it a little bit. Like it's, I wouldn't say like an embarrassing thing, but more of the misses are from hitting it too thick than thin. So in this rack in particular, we've seen 3 overcuts from Henry. And not by much, of course, but now this is falling really funny. He's got to hit this easy to avoid the scratch. Good try. So the 6 is obviously the easy shot, but he really needs to shoot the 2 first, I think. Use the 6 to get on the 7. He's going to see if he can shoot the 7 from the side rail. And he can, but it can get thin quickly. So yeah, myself, I'd like to shoot this one first and then use the 6 to get on the 7. Nice stroke there. He's going to cut the 7 now, maybe? No. Okay. So where does he go? Down the right side rail here? Does he come all the way down the table towards the 9 with the cue ball? This is where committing is so important.
Looks like he's made that decision.
Is he going rail first here? Oh, he ain't going to like that. Well, it's got to really go. And it was just going to be touchy regardless. Now we're going to see. Maybe he has a long rail bank here. If he can see enough of the 7, I think he can. Yeah, he wanted to move the cue ball just a little bit more for the cut shot. Now he can try to play a super touchy safety, just bumping his left side of the 7 and trying to hold the cue ball behind the 7. I like him going for the bank myself. Now is the 7 going to help him out? Doesn't appear so. So a big stretch, maybe reaching over the table here for Carlos, but he's in a great position here to go at 4-0. Good enough there, Jason.
A very solid start for Carlos Gomez as he takes a commanding 4-0 lead over Henry Brodt, the 3-time U.S. Amateur Champion. He will have the break for this final game of the 8-ball set.
No, I'll tell you that Carlos physically is settling in, that's for sure, and we saw that in the last 2 racks. But I think as the mental side of his game, his 8-ball prowess, you might say, is improving as well. Maybe getting a little more comfortable and confident.
Yeah, looks strong.
Our last game of the 8-ball side of the set. Carlos had 1 scratch on the break, 1 dry break, and then a break and run as well. So a little variety on the break so far. 4-ball maybe down, no. So again, Henry's had a couple of these situations where he's got to do a lot of the tough work here early in the rack. I think I kind of like the stripes myself, just initially looking, but to look it over a little bit more now, the starting shot has a lot to do with it. Like, what kind of great shot does he have at the stripes, period, right? If he could get that first shot down, because the 15 goes in the side or the upper corner pretty easily. Once the 10's cleared down here, or is that the 14 that's on the lower right part of the table? Once that's cleared, the 8 will go. The 4-ball's a pretty big problem. The 5's a big problem for the solids. But again, Jason, if you don't have much of a starting shot, you may have to take the balls that you dislike a little bit, but it's just how it goes.
Henry's still trying to figure that out for himself here.
Yeah. And it's the main thing of what I said is he can recognize, he can't be the champion he is and the experience he has without recognizing the stripes are better. But that first shot is a little dangerous, meaning it's missable. So he's going to cut the 6. I think he thinks he's going to catch the 4, but I don't know. Yeah, he thought he was going to catch just a little piece of that 4, not only to open the 4, but to slow the cue ball down. And now he's in a super tough spot off the bottom rail here. Looks like the 5 goes in the side, though. Good effort. So he doesn't have to take on the 15 now. Sometimes you can kind of fool yourself saying, that's a problem. I'm pretty decent on it now. Let me get to it now. But looks like to me he can get to it a few different ways. So if he passed on the 15 now, it wouldn't bother me. Now, I wouldn't wait on it too long. You want to get on it pretty soon. Like, that ball he just took off right there, the 14. And now the 11. Those are the two balls closest to getting on the 15. So now that you're kind of taking those away a little bit, could be tough.
Rattled that ball and came way out.
Yeah. I think maybe he's supposed to try and cut the 2 right here, super thin, and come a couple rails into that 415. Reason being, you got the 3 land for the side, you got the 4 for the side. So again, you got to get at, or maybe that's the 5 for the side. You got to get at that problem with the 15 ball soon. We have a Henry's age, Jason. I'm just kind of curious at what age he was when he won his last one in 2015.
I don't have, let's see here. Maybe somebody on the stream knows. I don't. I do not have his age.
Okay, not only the pink 4, but really some problems with the 1 as well. 1's very covered up by a bunch of stripes there. I like him shooting a 3, to be honest with you. If he's going to try and get out, I like him shooting a 3. That's a natural angle to go over and bump the 4 and the 15. And you have the 2 ball kind of laying there hanging, right? So you should have a safety valve on a shot. And he's kind of gotten himself to where he's got to try to run out. And I think that was the correct shot. It's just sometimes you miss. A little bit fortunate, too.
See Carlos Gomes again at the table. Carlos plays here at Strokers as well as Brewlands, another big pool room here in the area.
I was talking to another owner of another pool room down the road. He's going to love this, getting on the 15 right here. Now he's going to have to make some nice little touchy shots getting on that group of stripes in the center of the table, but owner of the Crooked Q down the road said that just business has been, just awesome for not really got slowed down too much. The governor here shut it down a couple different times, but he even commented on other pool rooms just doing really well. So, of course, you have your retired community here.
Yeah.
And that's
Crooked Q, we had a couple of years, we had the women's championship over there.
Yeah, nice pool room, good tables.
Henry is 74 years old.
Okay.
Thank you, Liza. Liza Gasman, our league operator in the West Coast. Very familiar with Henry. 74, pretty impressive.
Yeah, so just wondering, is 74, 22, 7 years ago, so 67 when he won.
Mm-hmm.
Guessing good chance maybe the oldest champion we've ever had?
Yes.
Or y'all have ever had,
I believe
excuse
so,
me.
yes.
Oh, super nice shot there, and that developed a lot. Is the cue ball going to agree? That's pretty cold there. Not to get a shot on that 11 ball. Now, this is going to help Henry, that's for sure.
Not sure how much Henry's really been able to play living out on the West Coast and,
Yeah, well,
you know, with
yeah, I
everything
think it
shut
was.
down for so long.
I think it was Brian Parks that didn't make last year, but it was because you know, there just weren't the qualifiers, right,
Yeah.
in the region, right? So, okay, I don't think Henry takes on the long 4 ball here. I think he tries to do something with the 1 into the 2-3. Watch out, cue ball. Okay, he's all right. And Henry is just kind of, Carlos has played well, but Henry's just falling a little funny on shots, like right here. Supposed to handle this, but still that extra few inches of cue ball movement made this a little missable. Yeah, nice shot. Good stroke. And just like here, okay, he's falling on the rail. So moving the cue ball from the 1 to the 3, very difficult. He's falling a little underneath the 3. So drawing back for the off the 3 to the 1, a little more difficult. So it doesn't take much with that cue ball. An inch here, inch there makes a huge difference. Now, he just needs about maybe 10 inches of draw. Oh, sweet stroke there. Got a lot into that. A lot out of it as well. And again, you know, if the cue ball stops 1 inch, right, this is pretty cupcake out. Now he's gotten a little thinner. He's got to work the cue ball. Oh, that's got to go. That's got to go. And he kind of knew it right when he pulled the trigger, I think. Good effort. Yeah, good effort. Now Carlos, you know, this first shot is going to be the most difficult. A little funny on the 10, a little funny on the 9. Or maybe that's the 12 that's right there, excuse me. So it's all about if he buries his first shot, shouldn't be any problems. But I think the first shot is a little missable. Got to hit this light. Oh, nice shot. Now just move the cue ball out kind of where it's at now, 1 rail. Well, he got a little thinner, so now he's got to figure out the cue ball path. I think he goes by one side of the 8 and up on the other side. Yeah, like that. Tell you what, keeps it simple. Guy plays pretty good.
The decision to start in the 8-ball set has paid off handsomely for Mr. Gomez.
I think the best decision I've seen all week when it comes to the format.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen anyone get all the games they desired to start the match.
He goes 5-0 in the 8-ball set over Henry Brodt. We'll switch to the 9-ball set. Mr. Gomez needs just 2 more games to advance on the winner's side of the bracket. Again, this is double elimination. This is the first match for these two, so they will both continue on in the tournament regardless of the outcome here. As I said, they've played 5 games of 8-ball. We could see up to 8 games of 9-ball depending on how things go here on out, but Henry certainly got his work cut out for him now, down 5-0.
Yeah, and Henry plans on those 8 games of 9-ball, that's for sure. And again, 8-ball can be the most brutal game. You can do everything really well, and it doesn't take much towards the end of the rack to just get a little bit out of line. And what happens is there's a ton of pressure on you when you do that, because you know if you don't get all the way out, you're probably taking, 80% the worst of it, maybe more. All right, good break. Thin hit on the 1, but I think he can make it. He's going to contact the 7 just a little bit. Should bring the cue ball towards the 2, though. All right, good shot. He's got a pocket for the 2. That little bump on the 5 make things a little easier when it comes to the 6 ball here in a little bit. And he's stuck in between draw stroke, or do I kind of pound this 2 rails? Draw stroke. That's going to get away from him a little bit, though.
Ball in hand there to Henry.
And took care of a little problem opening up that 6-9. And that was awfully thin. That was a tough shot. And maybe a 5-0 lead. Maybe made him feel like, all right, I can stay a little aggressive here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to want to overlook Henry, though, no matter the score.
Henry's got a lot of matches under his belt at the U.S. Amateur Championship, so probably not the first time he's been in a deep hole. See if he can dig his way out.
Okay, nice speed on the cue ball. A little off angle. So the draw stroke, maybe the 8's a little in the way. I don't think so. I think he draws in between the 8 and 9, no problem. Man, just a few misses we don't expect, right?
I would say it's a big difference in what I'm seeing here from him. Just shots that normally you would not expect him to miss, he's missing. So.
And like we said, in pandemic, really, California's been a spot that, you know, you can look around the country and pool's been amazing, right? But if you look on the socials, not as much in California, really. So I kind of feel like he has a little sliver of the 5 ball here, but not really a makeable 5 ball. So he's going to try and kick safe. Not bad. Got some distance. Don't know if he's going to give up a pocket here or not. It's close to see if the 5 goes by the 6. I kind of feel like it doesn't, but it's close, I'll tell you. May be able to use a little piece of the rail if the speed's right. All right, he's following the ball, so he's going to get kind of on top of the 6 if he makes it. Oh, man, that nice straight stroke there. Now to keep this simple, just draw across the 9 here with the 7 near the pocket. When you see that ball ahead of you so simple, you kind of simplify things here as well.
Well, now there's a nice opportunity for Henry to capitalize on a mistake.
And once these better players, you know, they feel that good tempo a couple times, that's all it takes to really straighten things out. You know, we've seen some misses by Henry, but like I said, if he just feels that real good stroke a couple times, it doesn't take much. He's going to get behind the 9, maybe. Oh, this is super unfortunate. So kicking to the top rail with a little right spin. And he's going to like this from where he was. Left this pretty tough. Looks like Carlos is going to take on the cut shot. Oh, no, he's playing the safety. And that's smart. I mean, knows Henry's a former champion and a great player, but anytime you see your opponent struggling a little bit and you have a big lead.
Don't do him any favors.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people think the opposite initially until you learn otherwise. Oh, I'm up 5-0. They're struggling. I can kind of go, but that's actually the wrong way to think about it overall. You'll just have a match get away from you sometimes when you think like that. Looks like Henry's just bumping the 7 past the 8-9. Super smart shot. May have given up just a sliver of the 7. And so what Carlos should do here is, again, just take what the table gives him, clip the 7, and go down and leave long distance again for Henry. That's just about all you have. I think that's what he's going to do. He may bring the 7 near the 9. Watch out, cue ball. Oh, wow. Well, I say this all the time, Jason. Nothing wakes you up more from the dead than ball in hand. I'll tell you. It is the one alarm clock in pool that will make you rise.
Yeah. Let's see if this gets Henry going a little bit.
Carlos seems like he's got a great demeanor, so he'll probably be able to leave that mistake behind. Henry certainly didn't want to be on the rail. That's why you saw a little hand gesture there. Nice shot.
Henry pockets that 9 in the corner and is finally on the board. His first game, and we'll see if that kick starts things a little bit. Jeremy gets that first one under his belt, has the break.
Yeah.
Maybe things start breaking his way a little bit better and close the gap here on Mr. Gomez.
Yeah, and the break is the thing you brought up. That's important. On the pro level, we talk about it all the time, that the guys really kind of live and die by the break, and not necessarily shots, but just getting to break the balls. It gets that, kind of adrenaline, energized feeling going, and, you kind of just feel better about things. Now, this tournament, just like the ladies' event, where the players, if they agree to use the template, they can.
I'm wondering if that's what they're talking about now.
The template, maybe?
Not sure. They had a conversation.
Yeah, they kind of pointed at maybe the scoring sheet. So I'm not sure.
Checking the score there.
I see a lot of good players around here that I've never seen before. Super scary. But great at the same time.
And like you said, there's a new wave of young.
Yeah.
Which is great for our sport. Great for the Team USA program and everything else.
Yeah, pool period. And, pool is an information game, much more than some of the reaction games, even though there's a lot of information in those. But it's an information day these days, right? So, of course, you got to get out and experience swinging the cue, and it's a bumps and bruises game also. You kind of learn by making mistakes. But if you're dedicated and don't mind spending some time researching some things, you can get a lot of great information, really improve your game. All right. Pretty good shot on the 1 here. He's going to like that. He's going to have to show us some skills here getting back to that 3 ball, but because he's a little straight on the 2. Love to be able to just draw this 1 rail out to the center of the table and take the cut shot on the 3. Kind of the line the cue ball's on now, Jason, but just a little closer to the 3 maybe. So just draw back to the rail he'll be standing near and then get a good, 1.5 2 foot bounce off of it. That'd be about perfect. Oh, he tried to play the bank just to help the cue ball movement. This ball's going to kill on him a little bit. Unfortunately, snooker him. And that's how straight he was on the 2. He elected to go for the bank shot just to help the cue ball movement. Oh, nice kick and stick. Big shot here. It looks like he goes into the 7 maybe if he makes it. Oh, he overcut it a little bit. That cue ball got a lot of speed off this bottom rail. It's going to get a little thin for Henry, but he can cut it or bank it. He elected to cut it. Now he's in a dilemma because the 7 has covered up the bank shot. So is he going to take the cut here? Is he going to play a safety maybe? Pretty good. A lot of times when you're playing these safeties, it's not about getting the snooker, but about leaving a lot of felt between the cue ball and the object ball for your opponent.
Get a little lucky? No.
No, but he did get it to the back rail and he made it tough.
Pace has slowed dramatically in this rack.
Okay, that looks like perfect speed to come down for the 6 in the same pocket. The 7's over the side. Now, if he follows the ball, he may catch a little of the 9. Could be a little concerning. So he may want to draw this to the side rail and back out. More of the Henry we're used to right there.
Henry pockets that 7 in the side there.
And could have used a few more inches just to make things pretty routine from this 8 to 9. Now he's got to pick out the path of the cue ball, and he's got to get the speed right. wouldn't say the 8's so missable for Henry, but we've seen it this week to where when guys take their eyes off the object ball, concerned on the cue ball, you never know. That looks pretty good. That's the kind of position you like, huh, Jason? Right next to it. Yeah.
I like that one.
He's a hard guy to play partners with, Jason Bowman.
All right, Henry pockets that 9, and here we go, 5-2.
Yeah.
Like we said, over the years, Henry has surely found himself in some holes that he had to dig out of. He's trying to do just that. Now trails by just 3 games.
And it's what makes the format so interesting, right, is not always, but I've seen it in the past here the last few years that, really a tale of 2 kind of sets within the set with the different disciplines where one player really, for some reason or another, capitalized and played so well and won, that being the 8 ball or the 9 ball, and then when it changes, sometimes wakes the other opponent up. So
my band Brian Parks is tuning in. Brian, what happened? Where are you? Are you just taking time off?
He's a busy guy, I'm sure.
I'm just curious because I haven't talked to him since Vegas and was hoping we'd see him this year, but maybe he's just taking some time off. Hopefully he'll comment and let us know what his story is, because I do know a lot of these players.
Oh, yeah.
He's a guy they're going to win it. They want to beat him in the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
He says next year. All right, so we'll see him next year, hopefully. He's not retired, folks. Don't worry.
I wouldn't doubt he's helping some players in his area to maybe end up beating him. Brian's a good guy wanting to help people. So, all right, dry break, but no real playable shot on the 1. Looks like he maybe just has to kind of like contain here. Maybe sliver the 1 over to the rail and kind of maybe get a little fortunate with a safety. I don't know. Trying to get it to come out some.
Jeff, haven't seen Marvin play today. You can check the CompuSport app. I don't see him out there playing right now. Marvin Gus.
I saw him practicing yesterday a little bit, I think last night. 1 cuts in the side. I think the cue ball path is okay. Goes right between the 4-9. Comes back for the 2 in the side. I cut it a hair thick, but it's not going to hurt anything. Speed's pretty good. Maybe goes forward just a touch here to get a little straighter on the 3. I don't think he moves the cue ball too much. Oh, he's coming down for the side. Kind of got for the corner as well. Got on the good side of the 3 that way. Doesn't really have to draw the cue ball. He kind of roll it to the side rail and back out to the center of the table. Now he's got a big pocket on the 5 with the 8 being there, that 7 and 8. So that really helps getting on the 6 because he can be comfortable shooting the 5 with a bit of angle because he's got that big pocket. So you don't want to get too straight on the 5. It makes it very difficult to get on the 6. So I like just 1 rail. He could stun around the 9, I guess. Kind of like just a top English 1 rail, taking a little bit of a cut on the 5. Oh. It's amazing 1 ball can get you so often. And the funny thing is, I don't know Henry real well, but didn't look like he was too upset the way he hit the shot. And normally a player of that caliber, class, when they're comfortable with the way the stroke went, very rarely do they have a mistake. He's going to miss this. So now's the time. Yeah, now's the time for Carlos to capitalize. You don't want any more momentum to grow, especially with an opportunity. It'd be one thing if Henry just ran out, right?
Yeah.
But Carlos doesn't want to fumble here and let that momentum grow.
Yeah, he was cruising right along there. Last couple racks. I mean, obviously Henry won, but it was kind of back and forth, kind of messy.
Watch out.
And here we go. Oh, just missed the scratch in the side pocket.
Well, when you get that lead, right, and you have a couple things not go your way, or maybe you didn't take advantage of an opportunity you really wanted to, your nerves can start to grow on that end. Like, oh, man, I should be on the hill already. You start little mini discussions with yourself, right? So, thought he could reach that one, but no problem using the crutch. Now he just wants to get off the rail a little bit. That way cue ball movement is a little easier. I can run it a long ways or just 2 rails out a little bit. Now he came a long ways, kind of short side on the 9 a little bit. He's going to end up pretty nice, though. All right, Carlos Gomes to the hill.
Now leading 6-2 in this race to 7. He will have the break. The hole just got a little deeper here for Henry to try to pull out of. Gonna be a tough road. p.m. round. What time is it? 4:30 round, I should say, beginning here soon. You can kind of tell when the sound level rises here in the location. You still got some 3 o'clock matches playing out. You got more participants coming in. Carlos with the break. Stretches in that side pocket again.
Yeah. That one wasn't as bad as the one earlier, that's for sure, but easier to shake off with a 6-2 lead.
Danielle asking if the guy with pink hair is still in. Yes, he is. Jason Jones. We just saw him play his first round.
He's 1-0, and he played real
fantastic.
Well. Yeah.
Maybe seeing a little bit of the pink hair over the next couple days if he keeps playing like he did this afternoon.
Yeah, we had a great match to open the stream with Shearman and Ernesto, and kind of wonder, you were here, but it'd be hard to believe they played it any better than
scratching the same side.
Yeah, it'd be hard to believe that they played any better than Jones did, Jason Jones, right? I mean, Jason really played well.
Having watched both matches.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was close, right?
He was there with them.
Yeah.
I think I saw a few more mistakes in the Shearman Biawa match than I would expect from both of them normally.
Yeah.
First match, you know what I mean? First
Tough
match. First round of the day, first match of the tournament. So, in that regard, but Jason Jones looks strong. He certainly looked very strong. But sometimes opponent plays in there too. So,
yeah, absolutely.
When you're playing a former champ, and no disrespect to Joseph, who Jason Jones played, but, there's a difference between playing the defending champ or the defending 8-Ball Classic champ.
Yeah, in the first couple games, they're probably both still wondering, how do we draw each other here in the first round? You're like, how did this happen?
Ernesto probably loves it now.
Yeah. There's rewards to winning that, that's for
Yeah.
sure. Oh, it looked like I thought he made it. I like the stroke he put on it.
Carlos is leaving that window open just a little bit, isn't he? Just a little bit, though.
Yeah. So he can cut this, but there's a lot of fear of really kind of trapping yourself on the 5 with the 9 and 6 the way they are. He can bank it. Trying to make that decision now if he wants to go offensive. Some would play defense here. Not the worst thing in the world.
Still a lot of pool to be played this evening here at Strokers.
Okay, he tried to play the safety. I think pretty good overall. May have left a sliver of the 4. No, he's got the complete snooker. So type of shot the guys feel good about curving at sometimes around the 8. May just kick the 2 rails, trying to make a good contact on the 4. It's actually a pretty good shot. There's so many good things that can happen with that 2 rail kick. Now he's going to look at the jump. So going over the 8 feels pretty confident. I don't think the 9's really in the way at all. Okay, 4's going to come back down. We'll just kind of see what kind of angle it's going to give up. A little bit of an angle, so he's still got to make some decisions. It's hard to remember, or how many great players are just in this area as well. Donnie Mills, and of course we got to see Jeanette yesterday. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
James Roberts, another great player from the Tampa area.
Yeah, some great amateur. You've got Jose.
Yeah.
Out here out of Strokers, Jose Del Rio. James Adams is another guy that's in this area that's a really strong player.
There's some of the older timers that don't play as much. Sam Lee was a great player that owned a pool room here in the Tampa area. All right, watch outside. Oh, he let up a little bit on the stroke, just a little bit. It may still work out. We'll see. He's definitely still grinding. Henry's won 5 games in a row, and I bet he's won them off all kinds of great players before, too.
Oh, yes.
So, looks like the safety's in mind here. All right, he's going to give up a look at the 6. We'll see what Carlos decides, but again, distance is your friend, right?
Alan Henry's a smart enough player. He knows not to try to win it all back in one shot, right?
Yeah.
He knows that.
And the thing is when you're trailing like this, it's easy to want to try and gain it back and, get it back quickly and
make that big shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge
Yeah.
shot, turn things around.
Yeah, and if the score gets closer here towards the end, sometimes you'll ignore a percentage because you feel good about a shot. But right now, he's got to play percentage to grind back into this match. All right, watch out. Believe it or not, easy to follow this in if you're trying to work the ball. Okay, he hit it soft. I got away from him a little bit. Okay. Can hit a high ball here and still play the 8 in the side. There is a cut on the 6. A lot of people get, all right, I like him leveling out here. I think that's smart. I'll tell you what, Carlos, man, he don't waste time pulling the trigger when he gets down sometimes, right? Fast and loose, Fast Eddie, fast and loose. Ooh, wow.
Leaving that window open. Leave it open too long, you never know what gets in.
That's right. Oh, Jacob Watson here, huh?
I like him.
Man,
Good
that
young
kid's
player.
got skills, man. I'll tell you, I saw him in Houston about 10 years ago, I guess. First
Wow.
time I saw him. And
He can't be that old, can he?
I know, right? He's pretty keeps that young look, right?
Yeah.
But
Well,
maybe it was 8 years ago, but man, I really liked what I saw as far as some skills.
Yeah, he's one that we've seen here the last several years.
Yeah.
Has yet to really break through that upper tier here of, top finishes, but
it's
he's
tough.
a solid getting here every year.
Yeah. I think he probably qualified in East Texas somewhere is what I would guess.
Well, Henry Brodt now with 3 games.
Yeah,
and the break.
Little break and run here, maybe an early combination to get another beat on this side quickly. That tends to put a little more pressure on your opponent with that big lead.
Carlos can be kicking himself on that 8-ball if things don't work out.
Yeah, and, probably leaves that behind just because you figure him to get chances. It's one thing now if Henry catches a little mini flashback, puts a little 4-pack together to –
Yeah, he'll definitely be having nightmares about it if he puts a 4-pack together.
All right, cue ball. Okay, nice kiss on the one. It looks like it was going to go cross side and maybe scratch. Got a great shot on the one, though, and he's made 2 on the break. Got to kind of ease the one in to hold for the 2, though.
How do you get there? The 7-ball and the
5-ball? 5-ball, yeah. Okay. 5-7. I think that's the pink 4 that's near the side. So the 4 and 5 sometimes hard to
with the lights, yeah.
Distinguish.
The orange and the pink.
Now this is a touchy shot, because he's kind of got to ease it, or he's got to let the stroke out and use the keel spin to really hold the cue ball. Oh, he's coming over. He's trying to come twice. The 2-6. You can see the 2 doesn't go by the 6. So normally you wouldn't set up for this type of combination when you had options. But I'll tell you, if he buries this combo and gets out, that can go a long ways for his confidence.
We'll bring Carlos back to the table, needing just 1 game to put this match away.
I love that Poole went to jerseys. I talked about it a long time ago. I thought we should have went to jerseys decades ago, but I think they look good with the slacks. But I like seeing all the amateurs in their jerseys playing and stuff. Pretty cool.
Well, he made the 2-6 combo. Now he's going to do the
2-4.
2-5. Is that the 4? Did we decide?
Yeah, I think it's the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the safety's got to edge the 2 and run the cue ball down here to the bottom of your screen. And again, distance is your friend. Boy, he really put that 4 in a bad spot, though. I wouldn't doubt Henry just crosses this ball over and tries to run the cue ball maybe back by the 8 for a little mild safety. Hard to attack here. So you're going to bank the 2 back down by the 9 maybe. We'll see. Okay, he tried to chip it and run the ball down by the 8. And that's just a smart shot. Realizing the layout really doesn't let you go any further. Henry should shoot at this unless he really doesn't want to deal with the 4. He was trying to size up the 9 right there, the kiss shot on the 9, because he doesn't like the position of the 4 so much. But really the 8's kind of cuttable from where the 4's at. So, as long as you get kind of straight on the 4, you can kind of hold the cue ball there near the side or a little past the side and cut the 8. So I like him trying to run out here. He may be sizing up that 9 ball like I was telling you about. We'll see where he decides to cue the ball at. Okay, looks like he's going to try and pocket the 2. Nice shot there. And now he carried a nice angle to go back and forth. Side rail for the 4 in the lower left-hand corner. I think he's actually gotten it kind of perfect. Now he's a little above it, so anytime you're cutting the ball, it's a hair more missable, Jason, but I think something Henry should handle. Ooh. You'll notice he caught the 3 a little thick to the pocket. That's why the cue ball didn't quite agree. And now this is a touchy safety because you'll notice the side pocket's there. So he can't hit his left side of the 4 and go somewhere safe with the cue ball, or the side's in the way. So now he's got to try and position the 4 somewhere. Cue ball.
Ouch.
Nah. Unfortunate scratch there. The 4 almost got tied up, but it does go, I think, in the right side and the upper right corner. Now he can play the safety as well. I would go for the shot myself and play the safety. Both. Like he could have tried to pocket the 4 in the side or the corner and still held the cue ball behind the 9, right? So kind of a two-way shot. I hate letting these savvy vets back to the table right here. They sure do seem to come with shots at the most timely moments.
Well, it's like you were saying, I don't know if it's the last match or this match, draw it out.
Yeah.
You know you're down, draw it out.
Yeah, that's
Every
right.
shot, draw it out. Wear them down.
Okay, tough kick. Anytime you got to kick away from being able to see the force, not in your peripheral, the kick becomes much tougher. And that's going to make things a little easier, moving the 9 out of the way for Carlos. So as long as Carlos stays off the rail with the cue ball here when he shoots the 8, really hard not to get out. And he's been playing pretty darn well. There's that rail I was talking about. So bounced off nicely, so a little draw stroke. He can follow it. That's even better.
Just the 9 ball remains.
Yeah, and
Carlos.
Henry'd like to have a few back, but we'll certainly see him back. I bet he gets some things together and makes a deep run.
And there you have it, folks. Carlos Gomes pockets that 9 in the corner. Wins this match over Henry Brodt by a score of 7-3. That's going to do it for our 3 p.m. round. Kind of lost track of time here, but we will be back in a few moments with our continuing coverage of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship. Thanks for tuning in.